I would like to start this chapter by going over the basics of video. If you have never worked with motion graphics or video, you might want to watch this. If, however, you have experience with animation and or video production, go ahead and skip to Lesson 2. In Lessons 2 and on, we will go over the basics of After Effects. I would like to start by talking about what a pixel is. A pixel is like the molecule of the image. It's the smallest part in which you can divide a still or video. Pixels are made of 3 distinct colors, also known as channels. These are also known as RGB, which stands for red, green, and blue. Usually, in video work, we work at a pixel color depth of 8 bits per channel. What that really means is that we have the possibility of 256 shades of each and every channel that, when combined, give us over 16 million colors, which is really more than the human eye can see. These pixels, when put together, form the image that we see. How many pixels go into an image is also known as the frame size. Frame sizes like 720 by 480 really means that that particular image has 720 pixels across by 480 pixels tall. Motion video doesn't really exist. We really don't have the technology for that. What we have is a series of stills that play at a certain speed, the mind connects them, and that gives the illusion of motion. The speed at which these stills play is also known as the frame rate. But there is one more thing that we have to take into consideration before going on, and that is this. If we are working on DV, and we're working on a frame size of 720 by 480, and we're working on an aspect ratio of 4:3, how many pixels will we then have if we're working on an aspect ratio of 16:9? In fact, we would have exactly the same amount of pixels, which is 720 by 480. The only thing that changes between one image and the other image is the actual shape of each and every pixel. You see, not all pixels are created equal. Some pixels are a little bit taller, some are a little bit wider. And of those that are wider, some are even wider than others. So, we need to have very clear what kind of footage we need and what kind of footage we are getting. Because if you design something in Photoshop or Illustrator and it contains a perfect circle and you're using square pixels, and then you bring that into After Effects and you're working in a non-square pixel environment, how is that perfect circle going to look like? You might think that it's going to look like an egg. Well, that is not necessarily true. After Effects interprets these pixels very, very well. But sometimes it does make mistakes. Sometimes it does interpret pixels in a way that you don't want them to be interpreted. If that happens, you have to tell After Effects how you would like for it to interpret the pixels. And that is accomplished by selecting the clip in the project panel and then going under File, Interpret Footage, Main, and select the pixel aspect ratio that you would like for After Effects to use. If you do that, your pixels will always be interpreted correctly and you will have no problems in your video.